Holy terrible free gift, Batman! Hello there and welcome back to Build with the Boys. We now have issue 23 of Hachette's Build the Batmobile Tumbler. So more of the same. So 23, 24, 25 and 26 will build the passenger seat. I don't think there's any variation. There might be some slight variation between the two. But we have just received our next pack of 6. So we've got all the way up to 28. So we'll be, believe it or not, nearly 25% of the build done by the time we finish this one. Which is remarkable because we haven't built a lot, have we really, in the scheme of things? But that's where we're going to be. So we are building more chairs. So there's not load. We know over the next 4 there's not loads to do. But it's necessary. As we said before, it's necessary. Something we've got to do. Something else we did get in this one was we got the free gift, as you would have seen at the top of the video. we got the free gift. We got the tumbler. Now, oh man, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad is what it is. It's bad. How would I describe it? Bad? I think that's how I describe it. Now, we were told a die cast. It's not die cast, it's plastic. This is a plastic model. There's nothing die cast about it. This is plastic. This is pure plastic. It just kind of sucks. I'll be honest with you, it just kind of sucks. So the front wheels don't actually turn. They don't turn at all. These are all on one axle, so they all turn together. It's way too shiny. It sucks. Now, the other thing that was supposed to happen, was supposed to have a display case, but for whatever reason, there's no case come with it. They're sending us a case with the next delivery that we've then got to screw it to. I don't think I'm going to bother, to be honest with you. I don't think I'm going to bother. This thing blows. Now, it's not without its uses, because the one thing I will give it is I think I'm probably going to keep this on the side. So it is good for points of reference to kind of what plate's going to go where and what goes where, and you can see the bits we've already built, and you're thinking, okay, well, that's where that's going to go. And then when you're trying to break it down and analyze how many issues are going to be this, well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see 6 issues right there, 7 issues, 8 issues, 9, 10 issues. It's not without its uses, but this thing blows, man. If you're expecting something good to turn up, this sucks. Honestly, this is not good. But it's a free gift. I mean, ultimately, I wouldn't have given a damn if they'd said you're never going to get it. I don't care. But the gifts for the Batman tumbler have sucked, man. So that key ring was garbage. There was a little plastic key ring thing that wasn't very good. We got the mug, which is, it looks like an Easter egg mug. It's nothing, big deal. We've got the binder, I suppose, and then we've got this thing. See, it nearly broke then. That nearly broke in my hand. It's not going to be rough for this thing. Wow. So we're going to get on, we're going to build this chair. So we're going to have a passenger seat. Now, we are going to have our back chat at the end of this one. So we are going to continue our journey through the cinematic universe of Batman. We have looked at Batman 66, we've looked at Batman 89, we spoke of Batman Returns in the last one, and the storm that one caused. And as a result of that, Batman's about to start getting a lot lighter in 1995's Batman Forever. So we're going to talk about Batman Forever over the next 6 issues. And we're going to talk about everything from the casting to the tumultuous relationship between directors, cast and crew, because it was a bit of a firestorm on the set of that movie, and it's quite an intriguing story. So we'll be starting our talks on Batman Forever at the end of this one. Without further ado, let's crack this one open because Gotham needs us. Let's get on with it. Okay, so here is box number 23. Let's open this one up, and we recognise this. I don't remember how to build this, but I'm sure my memory's going to be refreshed. These are all the parts we're going to get for the passenger seat. Now, we know it takes 4 issues to build a seat. Based on, let me just move this mad impressive tumbler out of your way, because I don't want that to distract you thinking, man, I wish I had that. You don't. Right, so what are we doing here? Right, so first things first. I'm going to take this section here. Let's get a zoom on this one. This section here is what we're working with. We're going to take our arm here and our arm here. That's we're going to lie these out. And this is quite simply with 2 pins here and here. I'm going to plug into our 2 pins here, here and here. So this is going to plug in this side. Push to fit. we go. So that's how that one is. Turn around, do the exact same thing on this side. So it's going to go in here, and we're going to push to fit. So we line these bloody pins up. There we go. So that's how we're looking at this stage. So this is on the inside there. You can see the pins have come together. The next thing we're going to do is take in these two pieces here. Now these will be identified as L and R. So let's see if we can find the markings in these. Yep. So there we go. We have an R just down there, as you can see. So we know that's R. So R is going to go on this side of our chair, and L is going to go on this side of our chair. We are going to use this piece first. So we're going to pop the lug into there like so. And I'm going to hold this in place with a single screw, and we're going to be using CP screws. Now, the more observant amongst you will notice the scar on my finger. Yeah, look how bad that is. I put a screwdriver straight through my finger whilst I was building the Titanic. So be careful with screwdrivers, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be like Scott and wound yourself with one. So this is where this one's going. It's going to go that way round. I'm going to put a single screw in here, like so. So is that one in place? Now we're going to repeat the process on the other side with one more screw, and then, believe it or not, we're going to be done. So this one is going to go in here like so. There we go. So that's how we're looking, and that, believe it or not, is all we have to do in stage 23. Let's have a chat. So that's that one done. It's not loads to do in it. I mean, but this is a repeat. It's a repeat of what we've done before, but it's necessary, all right? So as much as we can complain about, what to do, it's got to be done. It's got to be done. It's the way it is. And they have got spread out over 120 issues, so you're going to get ones where every now and then you could have just done this in one, can we? But that's the way it is. If you are just sticking around for the build instructions, thank you for stopping by. Please remember to like and subscribe. That helps the channel massively. We appreciate your help. And just like having you along for the journey as we get ready to battle the Joker, Bane, and all the other scumbags of Gotham City. If you stick around for our Batman talk, we are talking about Batman Forever. And it's this one. So that's Batman Forever as we know it. Now, it was all changed for this one because it's a completely new cast with the exception of the guy that played Commissioner Gordon, the guy that played Alfred. Everybody else in this cast is brand new. They're shiny and new, everybody. But that cast there could have been very, very different because there were a lot of ideas touted around for the third Batman movie, as it was called at the time. The third Batman movie, that's what it was known as for the longest time, Batman 3. Even though it wasn't, it was the fourth one. But in this canon of films, Batman 3. So originally Tim Burton had an idea. He'd written a treatment for the third Batman film, and it was going to star Michael Keaton again. There was going to be a return of Catwoman, but the main villain was going to be the Scarecrow. For those of you not familiar with the original Scarecrow, not the one of, would you like to see my mask in the Nolan movies? We're a few months away from getting to those, but the Scarecrow originally was this guy. That's the Scarecrow. Good villain, and could totally carry a film by himself. But the studios weren't really too hot on it for numerous reasons. One of them was that they didn't know who the Scarecrow was. And to their credit, I mean, before the Nolan movies made Scarecrow kind of more mainstream, a lot of people didn't know who Scarecrow was. But Scarecrow is a very, very big Batman villain. He is. He's just not as well known as... None of the villains are. None of the villains was well known as any villain that appeared in the 66 series. Those are the villains everyone knows. So they didn't want the Scarecrow. But Burton had written his treatment. He had an idea. And he also picked who wanted to play him. He wanted Brad Dourif to play the Scarecrow. Now, if you know the name but you don't know the face, this isn't going to help what I'm about to show you. But Brad Dourif, you probably know better as the voice of this guy. So he was the voice of Chucky. and has been for the longest time, with the exception of once when Mark Hamill did it. He was also in Lord of the Rings, but more famously for him, he was Oscar nominated for his turn in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He's a very good character actor, and I think he would have nailed the Scarecrow. I think he would have been perfect as the Scarecrow. So that's what they want to do. And again, it fits Tim Burton. The Scarecrow definitely fits Tim Burton as Batman villains go. And it was going to have the same sort of darkness that the first two movies Tim Burton had done. It was going to be very dark because it's going to be the fear serum. So there were a lot of nightmare sequences planned where they've been gassed, and it was going to be dark. Now, the original treatment introduced Robin. So Robin was going to be in Batman Returns, believe it or not. In the scene in Batman Returns where Penguin hijacks the Batmobile and takes it over and smashes it up, originally Robin was going to repair the Batmobile. Robin was going to be a mechanic they dropped off to. And they cast Marlon Wayans as Robin. So he was cast, he was going to be in it, signed a contract for 2 films. So when he wasn't in Batman Returns, they still had to pay him. So believe it or not, even though Marlon Wayans wasn't in Batman Returns, he got paid for being in Batman Returns. They never filmed a scene. They did make his outfit. He did go for a fit-in script, but they decided there were too many characters in Batman Returns, so they couldn't introduce another one in Robin. So they soured on it, and that was it. But because he'd been cast, he signed a contract for 2 movies. So naturally, they're going to cast him in Tim Burton's next movie, which is going to be The Scarecrow, and Robin's going to appear in it. So that is what Tim Burton's Batman 3 was going to look like. However, as we discussed in the last one, a proverbial storm happened at McDonald's over the Happy Meal toys for Batman Returns and how dark the movie was. It created quite the backlash. A lot of parents were not happy with Batman Returns, how dark it was, the subject matter. People lost their minds. They were not happy with this movie at all. And I understand why. I understand why completely. It isn't kid appropriate. So I get it. I get it completely. But it is what it is. So they didn't want to go down this route, and they decided they didn't really want Tim Burton directing the 3rd movie. The other thing that happened as well is Batman Returns took nowhere near as much money as Batman. It was a big hit. So Batman Returns was a big hit, but it just didn't do Batman money. It was 150 million shy of Batman money, which is quite a lot of money. And Warner Brothers, I like Warner Brothers, but as the old saying goes, it's not called show art, it's called show business. So they weren't really happy. They weren't interested in funding another Tim Burton vision. They wanted something that was going to make money. To make money, you've got to sell toys, and to sell toys, you can't have angry parents. So they wanted something lighter in tone. So that's what they went for. They went for a lighter direction, and they decided to use Joel Schumacher to direct it for them. They saw him as safe hands. They saw it as a guy who would understand the assignment and get the assignment done. He wasn't interested in making his vision of Batman. It was, you tell me what Batman you want, I'll deliver that Batman. And that's exactly what he did. So a treatment was written that they said, we want the Riddler. They essentially sacked Tim Burton. So Tim Burton claims, I wasn't sacked. And like, well, you weren't welcome back, were you? They mutually parted way, which is a nice way of saying the studio went thanks, but no thanks. So Tim Burton stayed on as executive producer and was a bit of a pain in the ass by all accounts. He said he hated the name Batman Forever. He couldn't stand it. He says it's a ridiculous name. And I'm like, I get what he's saying. I think if your last movie should probably be called Batman Forever, because it's like, it's forever. It's not a great title. I never liked the title Batman Forever. I thought it kind of sucked. It doesn't really make any sense. It would make more sense if he was like, oh, I think I'm going to give up. And I don't know, but it doesn't fit with the movie. It's just kind of a Batman Forever. It just seems a bit, I don't know. It's not great. It's better than the title they picked for the next one, though, isn't it? But Batman Forever wasn't great. So they've now got a director. So surely Michael Keaton's going to be back for Batman Forever. Yeah, he is. So amazingly, he signs on and agrees, yeah, I'll do Batman Forever. But things start to go pear-shaped, and we'll talk about that in the next issue of Hachette's Batmobile Tumbler. We'll be back very, very soon with issue 24. We'll be continuing the seat, and I'll tell you more about the just nuts, crazy story of the Batman Forever casting. If you haven't yet, please remember to like and subscribe. In a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice. Remember, Gotham needs us.